Love is not real. How much more proof do you need?
Zandi, please.
Did you really try a dog? What's Francine?
No, I mean, we don't have a dog, so.
I can be a dog.
I love romance films. I love. But Nollywood keeps disappointing me. Welcome to Nigerian Movie Reviews, and on this page I talk about Nollywood films, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So today I am reviewing Soft Love. In this review I am going to talk about the things I liked and the things that I did not like. At the end of this review, I am going to rate this film on a scale of 1 to 10. If you've seen this film, I would like to hear from you. And if you have not seen this film, if you're still trying to decide if it's worth your while or not, I'll say stick around. And by the end of this review, you'll be able to make an informed judgment, maybe to watch or skip. Let's get to it. Soft Love follows the story of Zandi, a South African relationship specialist who, after being jilted at the altar, loses faith in love until she meets Edward, a Nigerian photographer with baggage of his own. What did I like about this film? The setting and cinematography were really good. In fact, I think the setting and visuals are among the film's strongest elements. Like, they showcased these very lovely landscapes, cityscapes. I mean, South Africa is a beautiful country, and while watching, I almost forgave these people for the way they were disappointing me, because everything just looked really pretty. Acting and casting did not really work, in my opinion, although it was not bad, but it was not great. And I must mention, you know DSF, right? Dorcas. I think it's either she's getting better as an actress, or the people they've been casting with her are just not showing up. Because out of all of them, her character was the only one I cared for a little bit. I also liked Zandi's friend, TK. I liked that energy. And somehow, it rubbed off on those scenes where she was with Zandi. And those scenes were actually quite good. Ifa was just there. And Genovevah is my fave. Right? But in this film, she was just there, and I didn't like that at all. My fave cannot just be there. These people need to do better. Moving on, what were the issues? Number one, Soft Love was very predictable. Don't get me wrong. Predictability is like part and parcel of any rom-com, to be honest. They will do all the cliche stuff and all the things that we've seen over and over again, and it's usually forgivable if the film itself is just, if it nails the charm. But in the case of Soft Love, it recycles every rom-com cliche in the book without any payoff. Like, their meet cute wasn't too bad, right? And I was going to manage it until there was that scene where Zandi started laughing in the cell, like when they were in that cell, and she started laughing, and I was like, what's funny? Kilo funny. I've seen this kind of scene in so many movies, right? But in this particular film, it felt like Edward missed the joke. It felt like someone shouted, "Oh yeah, laugh," in the background, and they started laughing. So it was very awkward, it was not authentic, and it did not do what it was supposed to do for that scene, right? I think the biggest issue I had with this film was the main story itself. The main story itself was very unappealing because it was built around a character that was not likable. And by character that was not likable, I mean Edward. Let's talk about Edward. Apart from being a fine boy, was Edward an okay somebody? Edward was a mommy's boy living off his mother's money in South Africa. He was a thief who stole from his company, an immature husband who decided to leave his wife because she refused to leave everything and be irresponsible with him. There was no plausible reason why Edward was working as a photographer in one tiny company that was paying him peanuts in South Africa when he could have been running a thriving photography business in Nigeria. Baba was living like a bachelor in South Africa. He refused to work on his marriage, refused to join his family business, and his wife had to step up. He refused to clearly sort out his divorce before getting involved with another woman, and he conveniently forgot to mention to Zandi that he was married. Please, how is that kind of character appealing? Like, it should be thrown away into the gutter. Because they were trying to make it cute, but it wasn't cute. And if the storyline, if the core of a romance film is not great, if the character is not likable, then the film is a zero. Okay, let's talk about the dynamics of his relationship with Zandi. It was not even intentional with her. She was the one that kept on reaching out. She even had to have that "what are we doing" conversation. And of course, when you let a woman do that, again, that's a zero. I know some people will say it's my personal sentiment shining through. Maybe, maybe not. But I'm just trying to prove to you that Edward and Zandi's relationship was not cute. When Zandi found out that he was married, Edward tried to manipulate her by signing his divorce papers and dropping them at her house. As the divorce lawyer that she is, Abby, like, why are you giving it to her? You should have signed it way before, right? And as for that Zandi herself, she still carried herself back to Lagos to beg and fight for that yeye relationship. At what point did Edward actually work for that relationship? I would say at no point. So the core of the film itself, the story and the characters that they gave us, they were not appealing. And of course, that affected how I enjoyed and appreciated this film. To add insult on injury, there was no chemistry between them. Like, Effa is a fine boy, Zandi is a pretty girl, but they just did not have chemistry. For every scene where he tried to close his eyes like they were about to kiss, oh my god, it was giving ew. Like, Soft Love was not funny, it wasn't romantic, it was not warm, it was not wholesome. If I was to rate Soft Love, I'll rate it a 2/10. And this is because it was not a love story that was compelling. It was not a beautiful love story. The characters were not interesting. We were not invested in them. We didn't really care for them. It was not a story that carried the audience along. Anyway, with that being said, I said I will rate this film 2/10. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? And if you were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Soft Love? Please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.